Hello and welcome to this YouTube presentation on comparing the TOGAF ADM with the Ripose technique. My name is Charles Richter and I'm the Principal Consultant for Ripose Pty Limited, and I'll be explaining the major differences between TOGAF and Ripose. In order to compare frameworks, it is important to identify the highest common factor that each structure purports to adhere to. In the case of TOGAF and Ripose, they both claim to be a framework or technique that enables business operatives to align their business requirements with that of their information technology needs. Hence I'll call these needs their information architecture. So what is information? In my opinion, information is something someone is told or reads or sees, yet may still have no understanding of what it was they were told or read or saw. Whilst this presentation may contain information that you feel is controversial or inaccurate, please note our disclaimer, which is errors and omissions accepted. However, we do welcome your feedback and comments. So what is TOGAF? The original development of TOGAF version 1 in 1995 was based on the Technical Architecture Framework for Information Management developed by the US Department of Defense. According to the TOGAF site, the TOGAF ADM is a result of continuous contributions from a large number of architecture practitioners. It describes a method for developing an enterprise architecture and forms the core of TOGAF. This means that committees were set up and a number of sessions were undertaken to flesh out the requirements for the framework. It would be interesting to note that the TOGAF framework is but another kind of solution. Therefore, it should be developed or tested against its own phases. As I've covered the TOGAF framework in some details, see our YouTube presentation comparison website, I will skip defining each one of the phases in this presentation. You can also find a comprehensive comparison between 15 other frameworks and Ripose on our website, ripose.org. Select Presentations links, followed by the Guide link, followed by the Comparison link. Ripose, on the other hand, was developed over 3 decades of experience since 1975 and is delivered in 3 major phases with 7 subphases. The 3 phases are Phase 1, the conceptual, with the objectives, knowledge and systems subphases. Phase 2, the logical, with the data and application architectures. And Phase 3, the physical, with prototyping and implementation of the production systems. I've described the structure in an existing document available to you on the net. Please see page 3 of our Frameworks and Ripose PDF on our ripose.org website. Select Presentations links, followed by the Guide link and then the Comparison link. This will provide you with a view to our stakeholders, deliverables, inputs, processes and outputs. When the conceptual, logical and physical phases of TOGAF and Ripose are laid out side by side, it should soon become apparent that Ripose is a linear structure, whilst TOGAF can be applied in a non-linear fashion, that is, by cycling through the phases, all the requirements will ultimately emerge. Using Ripose, this demands that all the conceptual requirements of the organization must be identified prior to tackling the logical phase. As Ripose uses a tried and tested rigorous set of techniques, this prerequisite can be achieved. By adopting a cyclical approach, there is a danger that redundant functions may not be clearly identified, requiring the architects to undertake numerous integration steps which will prove costly in terms of resources, namely time, money and people. To summarize TOGAF. Firstly, the original development of TOGAF version 1 in 1995 was based on the Technical Architecture Framework for Information Management developed by the US Department of Defense. Secondly, it is an as-is framework supported by software and is the result of continuous contributions from a large number of architecture practitioners. It describes a method for developing an enterprise architecture and forms the core of TOGAF. Thirdly, TOGAF is delivered over 9 phases covering the following architectures: business 5, information systems 1 and technical 3. Fourthly, TOGAF has no prescribed deliverables, and fifthly, as at 5th of August 2009, there are 10,000 plus certified EAs in TOGAF 8.1.1 and 250 plus EAs in TOGAF 9.0 worldwide. I'm led to believe that TOGAF 9 is a lot more prescriptive and suited for large EA initiatives than TOGAF 8.1.1. I'm also led to believe that accreditation can cost upwards of $5,000. But what about the small to medium enterprises? Can they afford to use or outsource to an accredited consultant? To summarize Ripose. Firstly, it is based on a technique designed over nearly 3 decades of experience. Secondly, it is an effective, efficient, ethical and easy to use framework or technique. Thirdly, Ripose has delivered over 7 phases covering the following architectures: Business 3, Information Systems 2, and Technical 2. Fourthly, Ripose has a set of prescribed deliverables. So there you have it, a comparison between TOGAF and the Ripose technique. I will leave it up to you to decide which is better. The first 3 phases of the Ripose technique can be completed in less than 3 months. In closing, I'd like to thank you for viewing this presentation. The PDF of this presentation is available for a small fee should you want to assist us further the aims of Ripose.com and especially Ripose.org. You can find the aims of Ripose.org on www.ripose.org. You can reach me by sending an email to charles.richter@ripose.com. Once again, thank you for your attention.